Welcome back to Hey Kentucky. We are now happy to be joined with, from Pardon My Take, PFT commenter and Barstool Big Cat. Guys, how are you?
Hey, Matt. Happy to be on. Thanks for increasing the budget to 2 microphones.
Yeah, thanks, Matt. It was great to come out to a bar at 10 a.m. with you. That was kind of a weird invitation.
It was a weird invitation, but we wanted to have you. Had a great crowd. Was it fun hanging out with the Kentucky fans?
Very, very good time. I like that you just decided to have your job start at 10 o'clock at a bar, and 200 Kentucky fans showed up. I'm like, hey, we'll start drinking at 10 a.m.
Yeah, it was a wonderful time. Really entertaining callers calling in to tell us how much they loved you and nothing positive about us. So it was a lot of fun for me.
Now, for people we have a lot of our audience who may not know about Pardon My Take, give us like a 30-second intro on what you all do.
We're the bad boys of blogging.
And we also have more than 2 mics. So it's kind of cool. We all can talk at the same time. Pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad to hear that. Now, you all have probably the most popular sports podcast in America.
Thank you.
And you have had an assortment of huge guests. Give us some notions of the people you've had on.
Tom Crean.
Yeah, we had.
Tom Crean. You lead with Tom Crean.
Tom Crean, Sam Decker, Frank Kaminsky. Who else have we had on?
We had Jared Lorenzen on, but just to remind him that we talked to Sam Decker and Frank Kaminsky.
No, and honestly, we've had Jim Harbaugh, Theo Epstein,
Alex Rodriguez,
Joe Buck,
Danny Woodhead,
probably the greatest football player of all time.
Wasn't Joe Buck? Did he talk about the hair plug?
Yeah, no, we made fun of him a lot. We actually made fun of him to the point where I thought he was going to punch us in the face. But he realized he had to look cool, so he just kind of laughed it off.
Yeah, I like to talk about his hair plugs every single chance that I get. And there was one time that I brought it up when he just looked at me and he was like, "Why the hell am I talking to you guys? This makes no sense."
Oh, a little known fact, PFT actually also has hair plugs.
Well, that's good.
Fake news.
They're very good. Now, when you're with the Barstool thing, there's been over the years, all these various Barstool controversies. You're not really involved in any of them, but you all sometimes have to take the heat for them.
We're involved in some of them. So, I think Barstool has been very loyal to its, audience and brand through the years. And, if you don't like us, there's a lot of people who don't like us, but we're probably going to keep doing the things we do, make the jokes that we make. And a lot of people are going to love us, and it keeps growing every single day.
If you don't like it, there's the door.
Why?
Exactly.
Now, what's next for you guys? What is the next thing on the
I was thinking about maybe doing a television show on ESPN2 at 1 a.m. on Tuesdays. Yeah. I feel like that would be a perfect time slot for us. We'd really knock it out of the park.
We actually have some charity work coming up. We're going to buy you a 3rd microphone.
Oh, are you? Well, that's actually really, really nice of you. Now, we on the radio show, you talked about that you think John Calipari is on the hot seat.
No, we know.
Firmly,
we don't think.
Firmly.
We don't think. We know.
And why is that?
Well, he's only won 1 title. You were just going through the list. Go through the list of all the NBA players that Kentucky has right now.
John Wall, Anthony Davis,
wow.
DeMarcus
Wow,
Cousins,
so they probably won 5 titles
Carl
with those
Anthony
guys.
Towns,
All those all-stars.
Devin Booker.
Yeah, that's an all-star team right there.
Eric Bledsoe.
Could you imagine if those guys played in college? They probably won it all.
Team?
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
They could beat the Browns probably.
They probably could beat the Browns. You're right. Now, what about Rick Pitino? He's gone. Are you sad to see that it's over?
Yeah, Rick Pitino, it is sad to see him go. He's no longer on the sticky seat, and that's terrible. I think it's good for Kentucky and Louisville when you have 2 coaches like that just kind of, they're 2 sides of the same coin that just scream at each other.
You guys need a villain. And Rick Pitino was that villain, so you got to feel a little bit sadness when he leaves.
What would the Pardon My Take interview with Rick Pitino look like?
It'd be very short.
Yeah. 15 seconds.
We could fit all on a Vine.
All right, that's it. That's our Rick Pitino interview.
Isn't that great that Vine's new format is 12 seconds, so it's enough to fully put out a Rick Pitino sex tape?
You're correct on that. Horse racing.
We'll cut that.
Before horse racing really quick. I know you guys are horse racing fans. You've been to Keeneland.
I love Keeneland, love the Burgoo. I went to the Breeders' Cup a couple years ago, but I would love to go back but for my money, I've been to probably a dozen horse tracks in the country. Keeneland's number 1 for me.
What about you?
I've never been to a horse track, actually.
Well, I'm going to take you
sometime. I do a lot of off-site betting, but I don't actually go to – I'm banned from most tracks preemptively.
Banned from most tracks. Well, you guys have been a big part of coming on KSR, and now it's your first appearance on Hey Kentucky. Is it everything you imagined?
No, my hands are really, really sweaty because PFT and I have been holding hands for 15 minutes.
That's fine. We do this before every show, though. It's a way of connecting and sharing energy.
It was Doc Rivers' Ubuntu. One team, one heartbeat.
One team. It's like how what's it? Barry Bonds' dad thinks that he invented the high five.
Yes.
So they did that before games. We just hold hands and stare into each other's eyes.
Yeah, Matt Jones invented the 2-microphone interview with 3 people.
With 3 people, that's right. Thank you, folks, very much. We will take a break and come back. Hey, Kentucky from New York continues.